and we've got Jackson, the talking vibrating J, and I am RJ, the talking vibrating R. We don't dare use our damn cameras because it'll probably overdo our thing. I haven't put up the usual bit, which is the big clickety clack clock logo and all that stuff. So we're real low key, and may not last all that long. So we want to be real on everything. I'll mention that we have all of our wonderful patrons who have helped me bubbling along on here. Hendrel and Colton, who, if you could see it, is capital letters COLTOM, because he's the reason why I got the Wi-Fi router. Eric Rowley, Cyrus and Zeshi, and Travis Adams, Ian Chen, Convert Me, Stephen, Early Eat Meal, James Fitzwater, History Minor, Ralph McFadden, Pelagia, Benjamin Simpson, Slava, Speed of Sound, Studio, DM Wing, Command Cyborg, Duranku, Jelly, The Lavender Lady, Totus Real, Christopher Johnson, I'm Going Fast, and Tom Batts, Anawan Bats, Stephen Bauman, Marigale Beddoes, Daniel, Insects Are Cool, Morton Nielsen, Paul the Skeptic, Puffalopagus, Bo Rasmussen, Devin Reeves, Alex Stone, and Paul Williams, and our various legacy patrons, Jen, Jody, Mike, John, Keith, and Brad, Daniel, Nana, Staggles, Skystone, Ugly German, Wise Mom, help you. Thank you for helping at one point or another. And I see KCA Randy. Hi. So we are getting our live chat as well. Let me put that in the chat overlay on here, and that'll help. Say we got just talking stream. Whoops. Okay. Grab the little way. It's not. Seems to be balking at switching the thing over. At any rate, okay, maybe that'll work. Anyway, brief reprise of the situation. We've got the replacing Darwin that I've been doing the source analysis on, and what I would have done last week had things not glitched up. Jeanson finally gets into soft tissues. He's waving his soft tissue material, and I'll be putting links up to some of the older stuff. He, for example, all in a footnote, by the way, cites an old 2005 paper by Schweitzer, but none more recent work. And then he immediately in 2013 Brian Thomas review, which basically misrepresents a bunch of stuff in the issue. So I'll be putting all the technical literature in on that front that you'll be able to see. There's will be a Royal Society paper on Schweitzer 2014 that obviously Brian Thomas in 2013 can't reference, but Jeanson in 2017 should have known it. So the fact that he is being very cherry picky about what sources he's bringing in is, again, rather revealing. At this point, he's still running at about 27% of his higher source base, which is only about 500 sources so far, is just from creationist literature. So that number is starting to climb a bit. I don't think it's going to go too much higher because he's tending to repeat a lot of the same stuff over and over again. So that's rather dreary. The other part two of the show related to Joel Duff, who's been doing a very long, wonderful series on the new creationism. And along the way, he had a post on his Genesis history and their threat to do a brand new video on the subject. And yes. And Duff brings up these issues about the attitudes of new creationism. One that really piqued my curiosity was Ken Colson from 2021 on example of, quote, mature creation, unquote, which is another fancy way of saying created with the apparent age. And Colson has drawn on various recent books, but this particular article from Answers in Genesis that I'll be posting to on it is quite accessible, and it includes some stuff from Snelling that he invokes about claims about the Grand Canyon. We're going to be covering the whole soft tissue fracas in the new rock, as well as so many other little topics that hi Iron Chair Tier that has certainly kept us all enormously busy. I'm back on normal online stuff where I can do my research 24/7 without having slept to the library. That's a nice little deal on the stuff. The I anticipate probably sometime mid do for the second Rocks book based on all the material still have yet to deal with and all the stuff he's pulling together. I'm nearing completion on the one of two big chapters that I'm doing. Cosmology material that I've got a huge section to pull together to get that up, because we're talking about the issues of Big Bang, we're talking about exobiology, to some extent an allusion to the origin of life stuff, but basically the wacky need that creationists have to tinker with the planetary system to ram everything into a recent creation. So anything that's going on in the solar system that goes back like hundreds of thousands of years, or even a few million years, is way too long for them. So yeah, they can argue that the rings of Saturn are relatively recent compared to the origin of the universe, but not relatively recent compared to 6,000 years ago. All of that we'll want to get in, and also keep up with all of the latest stuff from the ICR's Acts and Facts, and the various newer publications that are popping along. So it keeps us very busy in our separate little venues. Catch us up to speed, Jackson, on your end. You were telling me about your wonderful exploration of Gunter Beckley, who technically is on the intelligent design field end of it, but because he actually has the expertise that he should know better, he's actually kind of more relevant than an awful lot of the creationists who are paleontologists that don't seem to have as much stamina to dive into a lot of these topics as Beckley does, and yet Beckley doesn't go anywhere with it.
Yeah, so I feel like we have to do a sort of what would you call it? An update, I guess, on what Steve Meyer and his groupies have been up to in more recent times, because Steve Meyer's book Darwin's Doubt, which is still very popular among intelligent design proponents, came out back in
ubiquitously. It
yeah
is. They'll be having shrines and candles to it. I mean, it is considered powerful.
Yeah, it's
he'd be the first practically.
It's a very popular book, admittedly, because it's very good propaganda. So there's that. But after it came out, he had Casey Luskin writing a bunch of articles for him defending the book back in like 2014, 2015. But Luskin's pretty much dropped off, huh? So
he sort of reappeared like a bad penny at Discovery. Yeah, so he's posting. He's not quite as prolific as he was, and so far there's been nothing really extravagantly interesting from him. Find out, but yeah, he's back in the orbit. I think he's is involved kind of in their education book angle. They have intentions to have these various essentially versions of the apologetics in book format. For those who are familiar with Explore Evolution, just think of that Steve Meyer was the main editor on, from 2007, I think, somewhere around in that period. And I discussed it particularly in Evolution Slam Dunk because of the reptile mammal transition stuff. But at any rate, he, if you think that thin paperbacky kind of stuff, but with less information in it, that's sort of what you're getting from these new apologetics. And I don't see that it's having much impact anywhere. I think the ID-friendly groups down in Brazil and a few other places will probably be some of the packets and including it in their reading list for the blah, blah, blah. But they're way behind the sheer volume of junk that the Answers in Genesis crowd has, far more so than ICR. Once in a while, ICR does a few new things, but the big king of the hill in terms of volume of books and volume of people and the number of heavy guns in their field that for them really hard to beat in Genesis. And plus the fact that all their apologetics is functionally online in a way that our Institute isn't. Virtually all, sorry, Mutable Destiny about roboting, that's in spite of the fact that camera. This is probably the best we'll have to do on that. We'll plug along as well as we can. It's going to be the norm far, it's very trouble that will very rarely be hours, be like 10 or 15 minutes, maybe. We'll do the best we can on it. I've got three main are I can't all the reference material. So actually, there's all the linkages, everyone can follow up, and anybody who wants to make content stuff, I can have them online. Hope to do as a stream here, and we will
RJ? Well, I don't know what happened. Is this still live? It looks like it says it's still live. Can you guys hear me in the chat? I don't know if RJ actually ended it. RJ dropped. Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that. Well, okay. I will message him that the stream is still up. Okay, well, I'm just going to drop out too. So, bye, everybody.